Hey there everyone, and welcome to HDpiano. My name is JC, and today we're learning how to play Piano Jam number 2 by Kygo. And in this lesson, I'll be teaching you how to play section 1, which is our intro to the tune, and it sounds a little something like this. All right, there you have it. That's the intro to Piano Jam number 2 by Kygo. For part 2 and the rest of the sections, head over to HDpiano.com. And before we dive into the lesson today, I want to let you guys know right here at HDpiano, we have Piano Jam number 1 available for you. So you can get both of these first 2 piano jams right away. So I have a question for you guys. Which of these Kygo piano jams is your very favorite? I think I'd have to say my personal favorite is the first one because I like the little bit higher speed left-right syncopation relationship going on with the 2 hands. That's kind of my favorite, but I want to know what you guys think. What's your favorite Kygo piano jam? Drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. All right, we're going to dig right into this, friends, and we're going to do this by separating it into phrases to make it a little easier to understand where we are. But before we do that, I want to let you know this is middle C on my keyboard, and I've got my metronome set here to 75 beats per minute, and we're counting in 4/4 time. And we are in the key of C major, and all that means is we have good news today: no black keys, all white keys. Makes it a little easier to learn this tune. And I think we're gonna have some fun with this thing. We're gonna start by breaking it into sections. We're gonna call those phrases. We'll start with left hand, phrase number 1, and it's gonna start on an F major chord, F, A, and C. And then the next thing you'll play is a C major chord with a G on the bottom, so that'll be G, C, and E. All right, after that, you'll play a single E with your thumb, and you'll go down to G major, G, B, and D, and play 3 more Ds, so 4 total. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the while holding these 2 notes in the bottom. Okay? So one more time, that's F, and then C with a repeated E, and G with 3 repeated Ds. All right, so that phrase in context, here we go. All right, that's got the left-hand part of the first phrase of this section. The next thing we'll look at is the right hand. The right hand starts on a C and an A, and it's gonna be on beat 2, so we'll go 1, 2. Okay, but we'll deal with that in a second. So A and C together. The next note is C and G together, and it gets an accent, and all that means we play that a little louder. So it'll be like this. Okay? So C and A, and then you just move down 1 note with an accent. The next thing you play is a single E with your right hand, but we're gonna use a little grace note going from D to E, because that's what the artist did. That's just D to E. You barely touch it, just kind of tap it, moving up to the E. And then you move down to D, and then C, D. So that is, so that together. And then we end phrase 1 with 2 Ds and a C. And the second one gets an accent, ba-dum. Okay, so the whole phrase. All right, now with the hands together, it sounds like this. So let's talk about how those hands come together. Now we start on 1 with the left hand and 2 with the right hand. 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But because the left hand lands on the beat, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It lands actually on 3. There's going to be a little bit of a syncopated type feel here because we hit that D in the right hand before we get to beat 3. So it sounds like. And I just want to say that's going to happen pretty much this entire tune, you guys. The right hand lands at our destinations before the left hand does. And really, the rhythm on this whole song, you swing it. You swing the rhythm the whole time. And rather than just straight, no, it's swung the whole time. Okay, so that's phrase 1 with the right and left hand. Let me give you that one more time. Here we go. All right, let's count into that together and play it together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is all of phrase 1. Now phrase 2 in the left hand starts on F major. That's F, A, and C. And then you play a single C. And then C major again with G on the bottom. So it's G, C, and E. And then you play a single E. And then we do the exact same thing we did before, which is a G major, G, B, and D with 3 repeated Ds. So there's 4 Ds total. 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do it again. Here we go. F major, and then a single C, C major with a G on the bottom, and a single E, and then a G major with 4 Ds. Okay, so let's do that in time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the right hand is just like it was in the first phrase, in the second phrase. We start on beat 2. 1, 2. Okay, but we'll deal with that in a minute when we put them together. But we start on a single G, and then the next note is A, and then we play a G and a C, and that repeats itself. So that's the first little part of this phrase. Let's do that together. It starts on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, and then it does it again, but instead of playing it twice, it moves up to the D at the top. So the first time, and then you do it again with a D the second one. So, all right, and then the way we end phrase 2 is we play this little phrase here. It's a single D, and then a G and a D together, and then E, D, C. Again. And one last time. Okay, so let's play all of phrase 2 in the right hand. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, now let's put those 2 hands together. We start on 1 in the left hand and 2 in the right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing as we had in the first phrase, little left-right hand syncopation. Watch closely. Okay, and that's all of phrase 2. Now we're into phrase 3. We've only got 2 phrases left and we'll have the entire intro. Phrase 3 in the left hand is almost identical as phrase 1. F major, except for this time it does get that single C. Phrase 1 got a whole bar of just F major, but now we keep it moving. And then C major with a single E afterward. And then our G with our 3 repeated Ds. Okay, so one more time, that's F major, single C, C major with G on the bottom, single E, G major with 3 repeated Ds. Okay. And that gets us to the end of phrase 3 in just the left hand. Now I've got really great news. Most of phrase 3 in the right hand is identical to phrase 1 in the right hand. The only difference is, when we get to here, we don't play our grace note and we don't play just a single E. It's an E and a C. And then it goes back to just like before. So after then it's D, C, and D. Okay, and then here is how phrase 3 ends. All right, so let's play that together. We'll do it slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. By the way, that second D on that little part, that ending part, gets an accent. And remember, we're keeping it swinging. Here comes the accent. Ba, ba. Okay? With the left hand, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now I want to make one suggestion here. Now I've been playing it like this because that's what feels natural, but we actually should probably move down because on phrase 4, we're going to start on an A. And we're not going to want to have to do some kind of weird maneuver like this. So why don't we do this? When you play these next 2 Ds, ba, ba, move down to your 3 finger on the second one. So 2, 3, ba, ba. And now you're ready to land on that A. But before we get to that A, let's look at the left hand for phrase 4. So that's all of phrase 3. Let me give that to you one more time. Phrase 3. All right, now here's phrase 4. Left hand is F major, F A C, and then a single C, C major with a G on the bottom, so that's G, C, E, and then a single E, and then a nice big G major chord, G, B, D, which we will hold for 2 whole bars. So it'll look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay? One more time. Starts on F major. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all of the left hand for phrase 4. Okay, now let's look at the right hand for phrase 4. Starts on an A, and then we immediately repeat that A to go up to the D. And the second A is more of like just a little pickup. Ba-da. All right, so first A, and then second. All right, so that's phrase 4. And that's the notes. D, E, D, C. So remember, we ended phrase 3 like this. Now we're in phrase 4. Ba-da-da-da-da-bum. Now we go down to the G this time. So end of phrase 3, end of phrase 4. A. We just repeat that little phrase and land on G the second time. And now this time, we go to the C and then the D. The C is not a pickup note. It actually gets held for a second. Okay? D, E, D, D. And that first D gets an accent. So here's all 3 of those. And then we hold that D with our 2 full bars of G major. So let me give you all of phrase 4. Now the first little D section there is the end of phrase 3. Now here's phrase 4. And really these phrases are not really there. We're just using them to help us to know where we are. Okay? So here's all of phrase 3 and 4 together. And that's the end of phrase 4. So let's put all 4 of these phrases together and we'll have the entire section 1, which is the intro. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I want to say congratulations for making it this far. You've just learned the intro to Piano Jam number 2 by Kygo. Head on over to HDpiano.com to tackle the remaining sections. And if you're on YouTube right now, we hope that you'll subscribe to our channel so that you always know what's going on. Give us a like and drop us a comment. And also come find us over on social media. We look forward to seeing you over at HDpiano.com, the home of the hybrid piano lesson.